joined at this point by Sanjay Hegde, who's a senior advocate with the Supreme Court. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Good evening. I would even think that it's extremely unfortunate that we've had to discuss this with what's happening around in the country, the manner in which it's unfolding. But you are an advocate with the Supreme Court. How do you really look at this? Why I'm asking you this question? One, these are teenagers. I think nobody is going to back what they said. No one is going to appreciate, encourage, or say what they say with wise. It was crass. It was bad. It was distasteful. It was obnoxious. Given. But there's an FIR against them. It's being seen as a crime. What is this legally?
See, bad taste is not criminal in this country. If it was criminal, many of us would all be serving time in Tihar. And as far as mere obscenities go, we have a culture where in the Prime Minister's constituency in Banaras, please go there on Holi, and there is a huge sammelan where freedom of speech is exercised to its utmost. I find it very surprising that a government headed by the MP of Banaras is now clamping down on speech which is made by young people just because they were there in a political protest. The speech is only an excuse to have a chilling effect on younger people, saying, look, you think you're getting funny? Just watch what we do to you. Just see how funny you can be inside a lockup. You are making criminals of children, and to my mind, a wise administration does not do that. You do not provide children an unnecessary taste of adult jails for fear that they will then get either radicalized or that they will be beyond any hope of cure or compassion. These are young girls. Now, please imagine a situation. Forget this particular case. If there was a schoolyard fight, and thereafter a young girl said something on social media, and then a whole host of people descended on that young girl, doxed her, put her details out in public, and in an organized manner bullied her, what would it be? It would be cyberbullying. If it led to any violence, it would be incitement. It is not just the momentary abuses hurled by this young girl. What has happened thereafter is much more criminal.
You know, Mr. Hegde, there's also another concern. How does a 15-year-old girl get named as an adult in an FIR? Her age. It's hugely misleading, sir. I mean...
No, not only misleading.
No, just 1 minute. I have to ask you this question. Because I am here, and there was at a point, I thought this was an adult, and therefore the treatment of how the visuals of this girl gets used on screen is very different from when you handle a teenager. The ramifications are huge. And to think the FIR, a police document, which is a government document, a legal document on which the FIR is based, has her as an adult, as a 25-year-old. How does that happen?
It happens because the police know the law. The police knew that as a juvenile, they could not arrest her. And it is therefore they deliberately added a decade to her age, possibly knowing fully well what her real age was, so that they could take her into custody, give her a taste of what an adult lockup was like. This is a situation which calls for an inquiry against the police station and the policeman who registered that FIR.
Right. Mr.
It is not a mistake. It is a deliberate attempt to get cute with the law.
Mr. Hegde, coming back to, this young teenager, young teenagers for that matter. Um, any parent's instinct is to protect their child. Any parent's instinct. No matter how much the child has crossed, I mean, we are not saying justify the act, but instinct is to ensure that law is followed, but in the safest way possible for the child. And I think the law is intended like that as well. In this particular case, you've had now both these teenagers have to issue public apologies all over again on social media. Because they are being threatened, their families are being threatened. So one is obviously the obnoxious, distasteful videos that they put out. In one case, that girl did not even put it out. It was taken
Somebody
up by...
else put it out.
Correct. And then you have public apologies that are now all over the place, and the truth is it's going to be there for life.
So the thing is, it is the IT cells and the boomer uncles, the WhatsApp generation, who have decided that you live in a society of fear and not in a free society. If a person in a public square cannot criticize his leaders without fear of imprisonment or of violence, then you do not live in a free society, but a fear society. This is what is called the town square test by the Israeli politician Nathan Sharansky. Now, the digital media and social media is the new town square. If in the digital town square, you cannot freely speak your mind about the leader of your country, then you are living in a country which is based on fear and is not a free society. And that is what is being enforced. When you make an example of two little girls, the thing is that you are trying to suppress millions of other little girls and little boys and young adults into keeping quiet forever. That does not happen. Repression will find its own pushback.
Mr. Hegde, I have to also ask you a question. And there are many who have pointed this out, but how would you look at this? Is this double standards? Because politicians have used worst adjectives. They have used terrible slurs. They have used Islamophobic slurs. They have used slurs that are against gender, against people, against groups, in public, outside, and in parliament. Do you see the same standards being applied for them? And we have on the screen past cases of how different BJP leaders at different times have made these references to different remarks. The cases that were there, the no conviction that existed, 1 or 2 FIRs that were eventually quashed, it's all there on the screen. But how do you look at this as a legal veteran?
No, it is the establishment saying that the right to abuse people vests only in us. That we expect everybody else to be thick-skinned, but we shall remain thin-skinned. It is when you do not take action against all such abuse from the elders that the young will also come out and emulate them. After all societies, the young learn from the older. So if you let your politicians go scot-free, then you have no business coming after the young.
Mr. Hegde, you would know this better. I wasn't that aware at that time, but I've heard that these kind of statements, public innuendos that have been made by even teenagers, is not a new phenomena. This has also been there at the time when Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister during the older times. You would know this better. How would you see this in today's digital era?
See, let's put it this way, that all these slogans, most of these slogans are not new, except the 56-inch one, right? They have been repurposed from older times. They were used on politicians of a different vintage. No, forget Rajiv Gandhi, even Indira Gandhi I can remember an emergency slogan was "Ware Indira Tera Khel, Sasta Daru, Mehanga Tel." But that was economic. But there were much worse things that were said about Mrs. Gandhi being a woman. There are even today so many things being said about Pandit Nehru, which are absolutely not suitable for a family channel. In those days, you did not have social media, you did not have virality. Things which were whispered or which were chanted remained on that street front. Today, whenever you say something, if it is particularly catchy, it becomes viral all over. Everybody with a smartphone can access it. The power of the freedom of speech and the power of reach. These are two parts of the equation. And often it is not that the person who's making the speech is putting it out. As you yourself said, one of those protesters did not even put out her video. Somebody else saw that she was doing something catchy and put it out for his own purposes, his or her own purposes. Today, anything that you say is in which is within camera distance, is now in the public square. Maybe we should have rules on how to punish it or how to moderate it. But you cannot go after random perpetrators or especially juveniles and say that you have insulted a nation. This old game of Manishankar Iyer called me a chaiwala, that has to cease.
Mr. Hegde, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. And we just hope that this culture of doxing doesn't really penetrate deeper into people who are really not, who are just teenagers. And again, as I say, as a channel, as anybody who is sensible, we will never back what was said. But there's a line which also gets drawn in how action is taken. Mr. Hegde, you want to say something?
No, I was remembering, we don't need no education, we don't need no school. No dark sarcasm in the classroom. Teacher, leave them kids alone.
Mr. Hegde, thank
we
you
used
so
to
much.
sing it.
I know, I don't want to start humming that right now. But Mr. Hegde, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. We'll be talking about two teenagers issuing their public apology. In fact, what they have called is a national apology amid a whole lot of doxing, public shaming. I'm being joined at this point by Sanjay Sahai, who's a former ADGP for Karnataka, Advocate Khushbu Jain, who's a cybersecurity expert. Dr. Deepak Raheja also joins us, who's a psychiatrist. He should be joining us shortly, as well as K. Gopika Babu, a Gen Z protester who was part of the protest as well. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining me. Gopika, can I just come straight to you at this point? How have you been seen? How are you seeing all of this? Are you seeing more than what we are seeing?
I think we're all very shocked and appalled at the level of cyberbullying, rape threats, violent DMs that kids are getting. You have to understand that these are juvenile protesters, 15, 16-year-old, who have been shamed online, who have been threatened with FIR by the BJP IT cell, whose DMs are filled with rape threats. These girls, young girls, children, are now having to come out with a public apology in order to save themselves from this sort of an attack. And when we have 20 students who have already committed suicide, who have been institutionally murdered, was it not the onus on the Prime Minister as well as the earlier Minister of Education to render an apology for that? Instead of that, since the protests, we're seeing that young protesters who were standing in solidarity with their fellow students, who are standing up for the education system of this country, are now having to put up with this level of online harassment. And where has ever a case been registered against these cyber bullies? These are actual rape threats that affect the confidence, affect the personality and the psychology of youngsters, teenagers, children. And now we're giving them an open rein to do all sorts of harassment and come and show themselves as saviors of some sort of culture. And while Prime Minister Modi is coming out with a reel saying that I forgive whoever has, talked ill about me and my family, but where is your apology for the 20 plus institutional murders that has happened under your watch? Shouldn't that be the focus of all of the citizens of the country, rather than what few kids said in their state of rage or state of excitement or state of anger? Should that become national news now, or should the students who are already in hospitals recovering from injuries of pellet guns, the 1,000 plus students who have been brutally harassed through lathi charge, where is the FIR against those policemen who are caught on camera sexually harassing, molesting, torturing young women protesters on the streets of Delhi? Where are FIRs for all of that? Where is the cyberbullying and trolling for all of that? Just
Okay.
because you want to change the narrative, you're forcing and you're torturing these young women into apology videos. And this is the level that the BJP IT cell and the Sangh Parivar has stooped to. That's low.
But Gopika, I also haven't got any complaints. I haven't come across any complaints about police officials sexually harassing and abusing protesters. I know there's been force and physical force and a whole lot of other controversies and concerns around how the protesters were handled. But I think sexual abuse is something that I haven't.
Sexual abuse has been caught on camera. A police officer with his baton has been trying to hit the posterior of a woman. That has been caught on camera. I have myself posted a photo where you can see the hand of a police officer inappropriately touching the chest of a women protester.
Okay. All right.
All of these are recorded.
Okay. Sanjay Sahai, let me get you in at this point. An important thing, and it's important to differentiate, I want to ask you a very simple question. Is profanity, and I have been saying this again and again, nobody in their right frame of mind...
I missed your point.
No, I'm asking, nobody in any right frame of mind is going to back what these teenagers have said. Nobody is going to back. Nobody is going to say what they have said is right. Nobody. People are going to condemn it. People are going to say it's distasteful. But my question is it a crime under law?
Say, first and foremost, is it commensurate to the stature of the Indian Prime Minister to engage in couple of these abusive posts, which anyway, everybody is criticizing? This is absolutely, that cannot be the case, should not be the case. And since times immemorial, people have been talking about public figures in filthy and not so filthy language, critical and not so critical language, inclusive of the Indian Parliament. So that's one part of the story. I'm more worried about a couple of things. One is that there has been a tendency to create a smokescreen and change the complete narrative of the work for which we set out. So, which the students set out, and the government also, in its wisdom set, they have also set out to do the same thing, which is primarily to improve upon the educational system, and something of the nature of need, it does not happen. So that's point number two. And while you are changing the narrative, there's another narrative which is going on, and where the point where you started with is whether it is a criminal offense or not. Somebody is talking in a crowd, and some other person who has a vested interest. I am not ready to believe that the complainant doesn't have a vested interest, because there are 140 crore other people who did not pick up that particular video, and she makes all the effort to go to a police station to get a case registered and variety of other things. So that is where the whole system has come down to. And if all these students, for whatever they have done, it is certainly not a criminal offense on the face of it. If you add intentional insult, if you add public or disorder, if you add criminal intimidation to that whole context, then you can somehow stretch it to a level that it becomes a criminal case, and which, to best of my understanding, it does not add up into the nature of judicial scrutiny which is required in a judicial trial, which is proving beyond reasonable doubt. Even preponderance of probability, it cannot be fixed. It is only proving beyond reasonable doubt. There are cases wherein every single evidence is there, and for some technical reason, these cases are given up by at the time of the trial. All I intend to say with all humility that there is some movement which is happening for the betterment of the Indian educational system that needs to move forward, and let the government, let the leaders engage directly with whosoever are the stakeholders. Let's not get into a social media battle. Governments have not run on social media. The government should not bother much about what is the narrative on the social media. But if you have something else in mind, which is primarily your electorate, public opinion, and variety of other things, the same social media which brought you to the place you are is the same social media which is biting you today. So that is broadly where you are, and any political party, the amount of content which they can generate in social media in 1 decade, even with paid political strategies, I think the Gen Z can generate in 1 hour. So for me, it is not a clear-cut criminal case. For me, there is absolutely no reason for Prime Minister engaging. Might be there is a reason that he has forgiven also.
Please, guys.
So he says that he has forgiven. So the story is over. But the people who are backing and who are the supporters, they are not ready to forgive, right? They are not ready to forgive. And whatever is being talked about, that should translate into reality. So when the other cases are already being withdrawn, and then at that particular point in time, new cases cropping up, I don't think it gets into the right scheme of things or the right understanding of the narrative or the perspective, whatever you call it.
Sanjay Rana.
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
I'm asking for your response to what you've heard till now, Sanjay Rana. I'm asking you a very simple thing. Do you think what's unfolding is pushing things to an extent that's damaging? And the damage is not for these teenagers alone.
No, Sneha,
it's beyond that.
No, Sneha, good evening and good evening to fellow panelists. First of all, we understand what is damaging, what is not damaging. So filing a case is not damaging. I don't know in what section they have been charged. Is it 351, 52, 53, 54? I don't know. But whatever charges are there is absolutely right in my opinion. And everyone, if we are not taking corrective action at this point of time, then it's going to be in worse scenario. As far as the video is concerned, which I think the girl who was abusing Prime Minister, I think she released a video today morning. Obviously, if you want to apologize, I can understand you can do the mistakes, but after doing a mistake, apologizing within 24 hours, I can understand. You have done the mistake on 23rd of July, when a FIR has been filed 2 days back, and then you're coming back and saying, sorry, sir, mere se galti ho gayi. This is not making any sense. Please understand. You have all the rights. We are standing behind the student. We are there with the student. Everyone is there. Complete India, 145 people, crore people are there with the student. But somebody is abusing, somebody is misbehaving.
The complete India has been forced to back
It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable.
Is not acceptable is a very different thing. I mean, is not acceptable is very different thing. Filing FIRs in criminal cases are very different thing. Because Sanjay Rana, why I'm asking this is, and if you can have this data on the screen, we have some BJP leaders over the last few years, the kind of comments that they have made.
Hang on.
No, wait. Sanjay Rana, just a minute. Let me finish. The kind of comments that they have made, distasteful, obnoxious, communal, and so much more. And some of them are elected representatives.
No, I'm talking about a complete one. Take it anyone, Mr. Biduri, Mr. Thakur, you can take anyone's name. Please understand, they have not abused anyone.
They haven't?
We need to look at the inverted comma, what kind of the language we're using. If I'm calling somebody Katua, take an example, calling Katua is a very standard thing which people call each other. Within what's called that Lok Sabha, if somebody is calling that, it is a prerogative of the Lok Sabha speaker to take action, whether he want to take action, not want to take
Sanjay
action.
Rana,
What somebody has to do.
We are not. Sanjay Rana, that's not how people talk. That's not how an elected representative should be talking.
No, it's better we don't use that language here.
That's not how people talk. And if you think that that's how general usage of
please
words
understand.
are, it's not
please
Sanjay
understand,
Rana.
Sneha. You need to understand.
I don't need to understand this.
No.
There is a governance, there is a policy within the premises of the Lok Sabha, and outside the Lok Sabha is totally different. If anyone does use any kind of the word, any kind of the language, then is a prerogative of Lok Sabha speaker to take corrective action. You and I cannot take any action,
All-
nor any government
all
can
of
file
us
any case.
understand
And therefore, there is a
parliamentary
problem.
Number one, number. So many people said so many things. Are we government is taking an action or anyone is taking action?
We are not talking
If
about
you are-
so
if
many
you're
people. We are
saying-
talking
if-
about
no, no.
BJP
Yeah,
netas.
Let me finish.
We are talking
If you
about
are saying
their own
these are
people.
innocent,
That's
innocent
why.
kid. No, these are innocent kid. I don't think there is an innocent kid or innocent.
Neither are
student.
BJP
They-
netas.
First of all, they are not student at all. If they are the
They are not
student,
students. Of
will
course,
not
they are
behave like
students. Of course, they are students. They are 15,
no, they are
16-year-old
not
students.
No, hang on. Do you think that Ruchika Singh is a student?
Yes, she is.
Where she's
So
studying?
firstly,
Look at the
Sanjay
video,
Rana,
15-year-old.
firstly, Sanjay
As
Rana,
per
let's
the
not,
record,
let's
as
not
per the
name
record-
her. She's a teenager.
No. Teenager. How can you say that she's a teenager? If somebody crossed 18, it's not a teenager.
She is
please.
not, she has
Not
not
18.
crossed 18.
As per the record, as per
That's
the
the big problem. That's the big problem. How did the FIR get her age wrong, Sanjay Rana? That's an answer that the police will have to respond to, not me.
Sneha, not buying your point.
You don't have to buy my point. I'm not here to convince you. But she has not crossed. She has not crossed 18, sir.
Anyone has the Aadhaar card? Anyone has?
Looks
No.
like the police also doesn't.
No. If suppose, Baba, please understand, she is living in one society, obviously. When somebody is living in the society, is a rented one, obviously she or he must be submitted some kind of documents.
We need to come back
Some
to the
kind of
topic.
documents called Aadhaar card at least.
Okay,
And
we're
if
all over the
Aadhaar
place.
card,
We're
the
all
age
over
is
the
more than
place.
18,
We're all over the place.
Take an example,
Listen,
take it 15. I'm buying your point.
I'm a
Take
journalist here.
15. Who is
I have
given
to
a
put
right to
facts.
abuse Prime
At
Minister?
this point,
Who
from
has
what's
given the
emerged,
right to abuse
and
anyone?
I went by
And
the
who is-
FIR
she
that she was
jealous? And she's
25 years
representing
old.
your Student? I don't think so.
She
She was
herself
working
in the
parlor.
video has
She
said, I am
went
only
to parlor
15
for-
years old. And unless somebody brings out a document
Baba,
to
hang
prove
on.
it
Sneha,
otherwise,
there's another point.
I'm
Sneha,
going
there's
to
another
believe
point. Another
what
point.
she
If
has said.
If she is, I'm buying your point. If she's 15-year-old, then how can you go and work at when your age is 15? Then it mostly is going to be kya kalte na? Bal mazduri. It will come under the bal mazduri.
No,
She
so it was just
somewhere.
a
She
training
went there
that
for
you
the
know I
work
don't
as
want to
for a
get
beauty
into that
parlor.
because this is
I don't know
again
which beauty
doxing
parlor, but she
realm.
was
I do not want to get
There's
into
a
this. I
guideline.
have an answer to that, Sanjay Rana, but I do not want to get into that. Honestly, it doesn't matter at this point. I don't want to get into what she was doing at that point. She was not doing a job there. I don't want to get into that because that's public doxing and I do not want to get into that. I do not want to get into that. Advocate Khushbu Jain, do you want to respond?
We are living in
No,
civilized
Sanjay Rana,
society,
you will
and
not
we
get
have all
me
the
into
rights.
responding what was she doing in her job.
No,
I have an
How
answer
can
to
she
that.
do this?
I will
Please
not.
understand.
She's a
Again,
15-year-old and I'm going to
coming in
treat her for what she is. It's not your and my business what she was doing there. And if she was doing Bal Majduri, let that organization get it done.
No, how can you
Khushbu
work?
Rana,
Then
sorry, not
Khushbu
Khushbu Rana,
Khushbu
Khushbu
Jain.
Jain, go ahead.
See, I don't want to say that I am in favor of just because she's 15, she can use the language. At the
Sure,
same time, hear me out,
100%.
hear me out. At the same time, I'm saying this has actually opened a very good point over here because we have been seeing politicians using filthy languages. We are seeing the people who promote these political parties, those people come on Twitter, come on Instagram, and practically start abusing just because you don't align with the agenda of that politician or that party specifically. So I think this opens a Pandora box and we should act upon from now on that we should put everybody at the same counter. Let everybody be equal in the eyes of the law. If the girl has said something and she should be punished, I think at the same time, if you're so active in filing an FIR against her, right, wrong, whether she has apologized, action should be taken or not. But as a state missionary, you have acted. And that's a very good thing that you are acting. Why are you silent? I think from now on, we should question that you need to act upon at every part, whether it's a politician, whether, see, I am not against or in favor of any political party or anybody who's doing it. Any abusive languages using it, any filthiness using it, any obscenity into it, if it's coming in the definition, which is an illegal offense in the Indian laws, I think the law should be similar for all of them. The only part that is differentiating is taking an action or implementation of the law. And I think this is the time we need to question as Indian population that why would you not act upon certain areas and why would you act upon certain. So now that we have seen that they are capable to act, I think we should wait and see that whether they are capable to act on others as well. I'm also not justifying one more point over here. See, Sneha, we also have to look. The girl apologized. I'm again not justifying, but there have been thousands and thousands of people giving her rape threat, abusing her, writing things to her. Is that justified? Shouldn't there be an FIR against them immediately? What are we waiting over there? Just because they're talking something, do they get the right? Just because I want to favor somebody who's in the power, or I want to favor somebody, I'm morally correct. Does it give me a right to practically start speaking or abusing the other person? Isn't law there to take care of, to take its own course and punish the person who is there? Or it becomes a right of all these woke people to practically come on Instagram or other places and start abusing her, start threatening her, that our entire future becomes bleak. I'm saying, let me put it very clearly. I am not favoring what she said, but I'm saying that let law take its own course. Let
And the same,
let it be equal for all.
exactly. Go ahead, Mr. Sanjay Rana, you want to respond?
Absolutely, I'm buying the point. If suppose anyone, whosoever is threatening her for the rape or attempt to murder or whatever, we are here to file a case. Please ask that lady to call me up and I'll do it on or work on behalf of her. Number one. Number two, when you said that on the Twitter, on the social media, please give me one example. Any party, I'm not talking any party where the person, whosoever's writing, he said MC, BC, whatever the kind of language he used, the language used for other one. No. If anyone is abusing or anyone is going against, people are filing FIR. I'll give an example yesterday, Sneha, if you remember, Khadke Saab, somebody wrote something not as per the law, it was not bad, but FIR has been filed in Karnataka and police came to Noida to arrest the gentleman. So people are taking advantage and disadvantage of the power. Obviously, they will take it, but we do not have a right. Anyone not have a right to abuse any person, especially the person who's sitting in Constitution chair. So
No,
we
no,
need
no,
to
no. It can't
respect
be.
each
You
other.
you can't say
have
that
all the
somebody sitting
rights
at the
to
constitution
protest.
post and I am not at the post, I can be abused.
No one can abuse. At least we need to respect the dignity. We need to respect
Why
the
my
person.
respect
We
is
need to respect the
lesser than
chair.
the person who's
You know,
sitting at
we
the
need to
position?
respect. Please understand. Sorry, I missed your name. Please understand. We need to
Khushbu
I'm
Jain.
respect
sorry,
the
I'm
chair as
interrupting you.
well.
Advocate Khushbu Jain.
Sorry.
Advocate
I'm sorry,
Khushbu
I'm
Jain.
interrupting you, but please go on.
My fellow friend, I said we need to respect the chair as well. So if you're going to support, whosoever is supporting, why I'm saying we should not support, because we are opening another debate or another path where anyone come and just abuse anyone, which is not a good practice when we are living in civilized
Sure, like
society.
C.T. Ravi, the kind of comments he
No, no,
made
that is
about
primarily what is
blood
happening
tests
all
and
across
DNA.
the
Sir, just a
place.
minute. I'll just come to you, sir. You had C.T. Ravi speak about, require certain people from the opposition requiring to do the DNA test to find their lineage. You had Ramesh Biduri, and we know what he spoke about, and the kind of words that were used for that, about terrorists and making a particular group of people
Sneha is
linking
doing
to, allow me, sir, allow
DNA
me,
test
allow
is
me,
not
allow
a
me,
bad
allow
thing.
me, allow me. You have T. Raja Singh. T. Raja Singh, for the comments he made about somebody being married to a 6-year-old girl. There are so many comments. You have Anurag Thakur and Parvesh Verma, the kind of comments they made about Goli Maro.
Gaddarov is not a
I mean,
bad
Goli
thing.
Maro was the crowd that
Yes,
really
yes,
spoke about.
absolutely, he's right. I'm using it. Goli Maro Gaddaro, whoever Gaddar is, we have to shoot them. What's wrong in that? What's wrong? Tell me what's wrong in that. You are allowing all the Gaddars to come? No, no one. I think everyone is
Sanjay Sahai,
Gaddar.
they were not Gaddars. They are not
None of
Gaddars.
those Gaddars.
I don't want to get into that, but really,
No, no.
they were not
No, no.
Gaddars.
You need to
They were
differentiate. You need to
protesters, they were
understand what is the
Indians
difference
who were
between
protesting there. And
the
because they are protesting,
political
they do
holding, and you need
not
to difference
become
between
Gaddars.
abusing.
That's
Please,
very clear
political
about
agenda,
this.
political language
No,
are
that
different,
is,
but
and
it's
therefore,
not abusing. Please
no.
understand. If it
No,
is coming
these
under
are
the
not
frame
the
of law,
kind of
you're buying
words.
your point.
And if
Why
elected
people are not filing
representatives
a
can
case,
speak like this and get
asking
away
a
with things,
DNA
then it
test?
is
If I'm
definitely
asking
not
for a
the
DNA
same
test, what's
platform.
wrong in that? What's
And
wrong in
and
that?
and and I am deeply concerned about the kind of responses that these teenagers are getting despite their apology
No,
video.
no,
The
teenagers
kind
are
of
getting.
hounding. that they are
If
getting
have-
despite an
look at
apology
their
video and
behavior, what
national
kind of
apology
behavior
video,
they
the
were
consequences of
demonstrating?
it.
What kind of behavior they were demonstrating on the street? We need to look at them as well. Open jeans buttons were open. And what kind of behavior we are demonstrating? Please. We are living in a civilized society. You may
What are
may
you
take
talking,
some
Sanjay Sahai?
kind
What
of
are you
nasha.
talking?
You can do anything.
Not
Doesn't
No,
mean
not
Sanjay
Sanjay Sahai, sorry, so sorry. What are you talking, Mr. Rana?
No,
Mr.
I'm
Sanjay
not
Rana,
talking.
what are
It
you
was
talking?
there. It is there in the visual. You and I have obviously everyone's seen that video.
What they want to wear and how they want to
No,
protest.
wearing
is
doesn't mean you
their
can.
whole thing.
You can remove
We are
all the
really
clothes
no,
before-
please. Let's have some decorum while we are making
No, we
discussions
have a
here.
decorum.
Let's
I
really
think-
have some
I
decorum.
think- I
Let's
think
really
we
have
need
some
to understand
decorum.
whom
Let's
we are
really have some
supporting and
decorum.
we need to
I'm not going to be
understand what
discussing
kind of
personal
support we are
clothing
providing to
and
these people.
personal preferences.
Are we-
That's
are we
really
going-
not.
are
We
we
are talking
going to
about
open a
slurs,
door?
obscene slurs, whether it is a crime, whether it is a criminal
Abusing is a
act
crime.
within
Abusing
FIRs
is a
for an
crime
FIR
under-
to be
under
filed,
Article 351.
and whether
If it
the
is a
rape
crime-
threats that are being
if it is
followed,
if it is a
are they
fact,
not
it's a
criminal?
harm,
Where's the
then it's a
action?
crime.
Sanjay
Proof-based is not a
Sai,
crime.
do you want to respond?
The biggest achievement of last couple of years, political parties notwithstanding, has been the complete debasement of public narrative in the public domain of this country. The tone and tenor with which debates are held, and I repeat again, the tone and tenor with which debates are held, I don't think it speaks of a civilized society, leave aside a democratic society. And the language which we are talking about in the public domain, when the same language is used in the Indian Parliament, it does not turn out to be parliamentary, unparliamentary. So broadly, that is where we stand. And what somebody is wearing, not wearing is none of anybody's concern. So if it is so
No,
obscene,
there
then
is
the
a
police,
concern.
one
We
second,
cannot say
sir,
somebody
one
wearing
second.
anything there.
Okay, please
There's
go
a
ahead.
decorum which we need to maintain, my dear
Okay, please
friends.
go ahead.
Sanjay Rana, let Sanjay Sahai speak. I'll come to you. Go ahead, Mr.
If he
Sanjay.
wants to take over the debate, I think
No, go
your
ahead,
channel,
Mr. Sanjay Sai.
your
Make
channel
your
can
point.
decide upon it.
No, go ahead, Mr. Sanjay Sahai. Make your point.
So what I wear, what I don't wear, it is my prerogative, and there is the police and the government who will take care of it.
Without the clothes.
Sanjay
And the
Rana.
police and the government will take care of it,
No,
man.
you want to say that we can remove all the clothes and walk on the street?
And the police and the government will take care of it. yeah.
Therefore, the police are taking a fire. Now, why are you so jumping? Why are you so facing problem?
Police are
Tell
not
me.
taking it. I will not engage in
Hey,
it.
Baba, there's a fire. Why are you facing problem? Please allow police to take action in court to decide who you are and I am to decide it.
Why police has
How
not
can you
taken
defend
action?
such kind of people? How can you defend? I fail to
Why police
understand.
has not taken action? Arrest the person.
No. What do you mean, arrest the person? FIR has
Arrest
been
the
filed.
person.
Police will take the action. Court will decide. You and I cannot decide.
Are
Baba.
you arrest the person, man?
Obviously, we will arrest. Police will arrest as per the law, not as per your wish or my wish.
Go ahead,
A
Mr. Sanjay Sahai.
one line, a political analyst on a debate will decide who will be arrested,
Boss,
who will not
please,
be arrested.
do not teach me.
And
I never
not
said
the,
who's going to
and
decide.
not the police
I'm going to
enforcement
decide it. I
machinery.
said police will take
Okay,
action.
Sanjay Rana, you
Court will
cannot
decide.
be stopping everybody from speaking. I have
No,
given you
sir, how
ample
can
time.
we use
No,
my
you cannot
political
stop
analyst will
other
not
people
decide?
from speaking, Sanjay Rana. Not
No,
every
Sneha,
channel
how
and
can
every
the
debate is the
political
same
analyst will
times.
not
We
decide?
have to
Some
have
Sanjay
dialogue.
is from the
We have to
Karnataka
have
will
conversation,
decide
Sanjay
how
Rana.
to run the
Allow
country.
that for happen.
No,
Allow
some-
that to happen.
somebody from the
Sanjay
Karnataka
Rana, that has
sitting
to
in
happen.
somewhere,
Conversations
and he will decide
have to
how
happen.
run
You
the country.
cannot be
And please,
pushing
how
into
please
every
stop opening
conversation
talking.
that disagrees. I will come to you. Have I ever not given you enough time? Have I ever not given you anybody on my panel?
think you
Have I
guys can
ever not
continue
given
with
you
the
enough time?
conversation.
So let others speak, Sanjay Rana. How else is a discussion supposed to happen?
Then I will respond back.
No, this has to stop. Please allow other panelists to speak. Sanjay Sahai, please finish your
He has
point.
to talk
No,
on
let
the
him
subject,
finish his
not on
point.
me. If he's
Sanjay
going to
Rana,
talk
we
on me,
will come
then
back
I
to
will
you.
not
Sanjay
allow him
Rana,
to
we
talk.
will come back to you. I really don't want to lower your mic, because that's going to be disrespectful for my part. Please allow me to do my job and not lower the mic. We will come back to each one of you. Sanjay Sahai, please make your point.
None of us have the right or the discretion or the prerogative to give any direction or suggestion or something to the police. The police is well within its right as mandated by Constitution and Indian law to decide and act upon it. And the investigating officer, let me repeat once again, and the investigative officer is completely supreme. Even the supervisory officers in the police, inclusive of the whole IPS machinery, they have no clear legal mandate to play around with the investigative officer. You can only guide an investigative officer. So that is the nature of powers which he has. Currently, what is happening that everybody decides. See, today what has happened? We have come to a situation when the Delhi Police Commissioner does not talk about it. There is no public briefing, and there are spokespersons of different parties who speak on behalf of the government. Government and party are two very, very distinct entities. And the government is strong enough, competent enough, and has sufficient amount of resources both to act, take care of the people, protect the people, investigate and take it to the judicial trial, and also has the capability and competence to speak on behalf of itself. As far as this particular case is concerned, we keep coming back to this current case. Whatever the police deems fit, they can go ahead with that. And the 13 cases which have been registered in Delhi, in last 10 days, we have not heard anything about it as to how many people have been arrested, where is the investigation, and whether they intend to get into the charge sheet and the later judicial trial. So this is broadly where we stand. Notwithstanding any other diversionary things which we talk about, that is not going to make any difference.
Gopika Babu, the protests obviously had a whole lot of young people, but not all the young people were apolitical or were not active political participants. There were a lot of people who were from political associations, political groups that were part of it as well. Gopika, how are such cases now expected to be looked at for spontaneous protests which may be spearheaded by political movements, political groups?
No, I think this is not something that we should take as precedent. That in a movement, spontaneously, young people show their outrage, show their anger, and obviously there should be some level to which they should censor themselves in while they speak with the media. But that does not give anyone the license to harass them, give them rape threats, give them death threats, and force these children into apologizing. And the audacity with which few panelists were talking about the clothes these youngsters were wearing, whether or not they're students, what job they were doing, it's appalling. It's appalling. We're not sitting here to moral police any young girl into what she's wearing, how she's presenting herself, or what job does she do. You cannot take away the right of any youngster from their self-expression. You are giving death threats and rape threats. It is the BJP IT cell who is behind it. You have to book an FIR against them. It is TG Mohandas, who is an intellectual ideologue from BJP RSS in Kerala, who came and said that these women who are in Jantar Mantar, these young girls, they deserve to be gang raped, and while they were getting gang raped, they will enjoy it because that is the character of these women who are going to Jantar Mantar. Where is the apology from the RSS and BJP against such heinous men who are outrightly misogynistic, who are outrightly spewing violence? All of the messages that were coming out on screen shows how much genocidal language has been used by elected representatives, representatives holding positions of power within the BJP RSS leadership ladder. If there is no censorship of all of that, you do not deserve or you do not hold the right to ask a 15-year-old girl to mind her language. It is first the parliamentarians who should fix the line on what is parliamentary
I'm interrupting you,
language or not.
Gopika. We are short on time. Very quickly, Sanjay Rana, respond, and then I would like to go to Khushbu Jain.
Sneha, everyone has a right to protest. But what my fellow panelist, she was saying, now we have a right, and if we feel anger, that we can say anything. No, Baba, there is no absolute. There is a thin line between the freedom of speech and the other thing. You need to have a line. What you have to talk, what you have not talk. And as far as Mr. Mohan, I don't know who Mohan is from Kerala. If you think he has given such kind of a statement, do you think anyone who's threatening, why not filing FIR? Why sitting on the TV screen and just giving a lecture? Go and file the FIR. I'm challenging you. If not, please come to me. I will help you out to file FIR against these people, those who are threatening. Please understand, in the law, there is freedom of speech, absolutely fine. But this is
Okay.
thin line.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
no law is absolute. It's in absolute in nature.
Okay.
So we can
Advocate
protect.
Khushbu Jain, your last word. Sir, I'm out of time. A minute, Advocate Khushbu Jain, and if you can refresh the top bands as well, please. Go ahead,
Absolutely.
Advocate.
Let me start with that. We, instead of whatever we are discussing, we need to ask some questions before we continue discussing these topics. And those questions would be whether some of the outrage that we are seeing today is organic, is true, or it is restricting themselves to what actually they were, or whether it is being magnified by actors who benefit from these kind of divisions. See, around the world, there are anti-state actors, there are non-state actors who want to have India at a state where they use disinformation, they use proxy accounts, they use inflammatory content to polarize our society, to weaken the confidence in our government, and also to exploit the real grievances. So I think the real question I think we need to ask before we continue this debate is not about the part that whether the citizens should protest. They absolutely should. Whether this protest was right, absolutely right. But we need to ask whether their legitimate anger is being manipulated into something that undermines the democratic stability and also the national growth.
Right. I think very, very important.
One line.
All right,
One line.
Mr. I don't have time, Sanjay Sai. Maybe 30
No,
seconds, less
I'll
than that.
just 2 seconds. The police and the courts have suo motu powers to register cases.
All right. Important conversations. I think our country is hearing, is moving, is learning, and I think our political powers are being held to account. That's a sign of a healthy democracy. Sanjay Hegde, Sanjay Rana, Sanjay Sahai, Advocate Khushbu Jain, and Gopika Babu, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. That's all we have for you in this bulletin. Bye-bye.